This is Jennifer Bradley with Stewart Title. I'm with the Texas City and League City office.
This is Susan Bottoms. I'm with Stewart Title Clear Lake and the Gulf Freeway office.
Thanks for listening to Real Estate Matters.
The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this show are not necessarily those of Stewart Information Services Corporation, Stewart Title, or Stewart Insurance. Before you make any investment, you should seek the advice of your investment advisor or attorney.
Whether you're a real estate broker, realtor, homeowner, buyer, or seller, everything matters when it comes to real estate. This is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Stewart Title's Bill Napick and guests open the door to what really matters in owning, buying, and selling real estate. And now, Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title, brought to you by Stewart Insurance. Here to inform, entertain, and inspire, Bill Napick.
Welcome to the show. It is Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. I'm your host, Bill Napick. Thank you for joining us on this show today. We really appreciate it. And I want to remind you, as I did last week, we do have a feature for you, a new show feature, that is, where you can not only hear the show, hear past shows, but you can also see those shows simply by going to stewart.com/radio. Real easy to remember. That's stewart.com/radio. In addition, you could find the show roster there, all the guests that we've had on in the past 370 shows. But once again, you'll be able to see, hear the show as we have a camera in the studio. You want to see the guests, see the studio. In fact, it's a great feature as well to share. Let's say you're a team leader or you have a company here in Houston and you want to share one of the shows where you find information, as our guests are always abundant with tremendous information relating to real estate and many other things, so you can share that to friends that you have in other states. Once again, stewart.com/radio. And today we have, as I said, guests with great information. It's not often we have an Olympic gold medal winner on the show, but he is here today, Chad Hedrick. He is known as the fastest man on skates. He is also known as having a real estate team called From Gold to Sold. So we'll hear from Chad, also providing award-winning service. Fairway Independent Mortgage Group is right here, the Stephen Curtis team, along with Karl Joe Woodling, and we have tremendous BDOs. Those are business development officers from Stewart Title. Yes, they are the A-plus team as well. And people always love the insurance segment that is brought forth by John Bramblett with Stewart Insurance. So find your seatbelt. You're going to need it as Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title begins right now. Our first guest is Chad Hedrick. He is known as the fastest man on skates, the first man in history to skate 10,000 meters, which is about 6.21 miles, in under 13 minutes. He has 5 medals from the United States Olympics between 2006 and 2010. One of them in 2006 in Turin, Italy, is the gold medal for speed skating. He now is a real estate professional. He calls his team From Gold to Sold. Ladies and gentlemen, Chad Hedrick. Hey, Chad.
Hey, good morning. How are you today?
It is awesome. So you have quite a few accomplishments, so many. I want to encourage people to Google you and look at some of the things that you've done and the mindset for success, and now you're doing that right here in the Houston area in the real estate profession.
Yeah, it's been quite an adventure coming from sports into real estate, but a lot of those qualities that I learned were imperative to succeed in sports have transferred very nicely into the world of real estate. As you would imagine, there's in both walks of life a lot of competition, both in sports globally, and then with the number of realtors here in Houston. That's I almost want to laugh when I say it, but it's been an incredible ride so far. And Gold to Sold Group is really bringing Olympic excellence to the world of real estate, and that's kind of our focus is really just being able to emulate those things that got me to the top on the podium there for Team USA, and be able to do that for my clients now, and basically give them the victory now.
That's right. And in fact, you use the word competition. That may be one of the first things to hit upon but also to know that just in the Wall Street Journal the other week, we talk about the amount of realtors there are, and this is the National Association of Realtors. There are now nationwide more realtors than there are homes available to buy, I read.
Yeah, it's kind of the flavor of the week. Everybody looks in and they see a hot market specifically right now, and they want to get involved. But there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, and really, the top 10-15% of agents are the ones doing the majority of the business, and I like to think that I'm part of that. But yeah, it's a very difficult, challenging business, like many others out there. But when you have a lot of top tier agents that you're competing with, along with part-time agents who are doing it to have a supplemental income, it really muddies the water a little bit. But also at the same time, it really differentiates who's the real professional and who is there doing it, as a secondary income.
And there's no doubt about it. Competition helps, whether it's sports or real estate or any business or anything. Competition brings the best out in us, or it has the potential to do so if we handle it correctly, right?
Yeah, I've always been somebody who believes in what I do and puts the effort and the time into becoming, having a real craft. And if I sat here and told you that from the beginning in real estate that I was super confident, I'd be lying to you. There was a lot of times where I compared myself to other people who'd been in the business for a long period of time and having high expectations for myself. But at the end of the day, all you can do is, wake up each day and try to be the absolute best that you can be and grow each day. And that's exactly what I've done over the past 4.5 years. And, it's been apparent with my business, and, I've just been really, really blessed with great clients, a lot of loyal people who support me and believe in my business and who I am as a person and what I offer. And it's been incredible. And I'm hopefully back on the way to the top. There's been a lot of challenging times with a lot of obstacles. A lot of times you want to throw your hands up in the air. But at the end of the day, there's nothing worth anything is built overnight. And, here we are, like I said, 4 years later, and I've got something that I'm beginning to smile about and really appreciate those times and that hard work I put into it.
And in fact, I'd like to reference to people about 4 years on September 9th, 2017. It was for our show, it was show number 188. Today you are on show number 370, and it seems like when we talked to you on September 9th, that was right after Hurricane Harvey. Here we are as we're emerging from the pandemic and things like that. So there's always conditions that take place in our lives and in our business, and we, as you're demonstrating, need to be nimble, and still we can be successful and as we adjust to these various conditions in life and in business.
Yeah, I think, it's really important. I always talk about transitions. Everybody's got specific things that they face in their life, and being able to bounce from one thing to the next, whether it be from a sport into real life or a job transition, or in my case, dealing with transitions where families are moving from a different state or moving from a different city, or the kids are moving to a different school or new jobs or whatever that looks like. It's really important to be able to manage those transitions and be able to overcome everything. And I think, my background in sports and all that, moving into new walks of life, has really been able to help me connect with all of my clients through the transactions and make them feel comforted along the way with the changes that are about to happen.
That's a great word, transitions. Well, let's tell people about your called Gold to Sold. What a great name. Let's tell people how you approached the real estate profession and how you're helping right now in this current market condition, how you're helping buyers and sellers around the Houston area.
Well, like I said, when I was training for the Olympics, I trained 7 hours a day, 6 days a week. I skated 175 miles a week for several years to try to reach the top of that podium for our country. And I was able to do that. And so really that work ethic, that mentality has come with me. And really just thinking about what it took to win a gold medal and what it would take in the world of real estate for me to differentiate myself amongst thousands and thousands of people. And so I've really just taken that mentality and tried to transfer it into a business. And sometimes, I work tirelessly and may do the wrong things. Or sometimes I wake up and I wonder if I'm doing the right thing. But at the end of the day, I think that background that I have has proven to be effective and valuable to my clients. And I think they see the difference. And I'm ecstatic that I'm able to offer that to them, to be able to just go above and beyond to be different. It's so easy to just fit in this business and just be a realtor. But at the end of the day, it's evident. Your clients see it when you go above and beyond and you're fighting for them and you're available, you're communicating well with them. All those things are imperative for them to tell the next person how great of a realtor you were and that they can trust you. And I think, each client is not just a client. It's a bridge for you to be introduced to many, many people. So for me to have that work ethic on display each and every day is so important to my business and, honestly, to my name.
That's right. And it's so important as far as preparation. You're talking about all the miles and preparation and to prepare for the Olympics. And by the way, we'll remind people we are talking with Chad Hedrick, Olympic gold medal winner in 2006. But Chad, getting prepared, now you're in real estate. When you prepare for tomorrow, what are some of the things that you do the night before and the morning of your typical, of course there's no typical day in real estate, but your next day in real estate?
Well, you have a schedule each and every day. When I wake up, I have a piece of paper in front of me and I write down the things that I'm going to accomplish that day. Obviously working around my appointments that are already scheduled, but in between those appointments, around those appointments, I've got things that I set my mind on to accomplish each day. And before we jumped on the call, I just wrote down 6 things here that I was going to make happen today. And if we can do that each and every day and kind of make these targets where you're not just walking around aimlessly and just, as realtors, it's very easy just to wait for that phone to ring. Well, guess what? There's about 39,000 other agents that may be doing the same thing, and that phone is not going to ring. So there's things that you have to do daily to prove that you're valuable to clients and that you communicate well and that you have something specific to offer that others don't. And so each day I wake up and I make a plan and I execute, and the next day I do the same thing. And, do you always get it done? I'd like to think I always do, but, all we can do is make a plan for that day, wake up and try to attack. And I actually, looking here in my office as we sit here, I've got, a list of clients that I'm working with, and I've got a list of opportunities, and at the top of it, it actually says the word attack. And that's the mentality. You can't sit on your hands. You got to keep going.
and helping buyers and sellers. Give us an idea of, do you do this geographically? I know from a referral standpoint, that is always a key for realtors. You're talking about people being a bridge, the people you meet, the people you work with. But do you work specifically, let's say, I know you live in North Houston. Do you work up there, or you go all over Houston? Let's tell people.
I specifically work my sphere of influence. Those that trust me, like me, want to support me personally and with my business. But more than that, I enjoy working with people that I'm familiar with. That there's already a bond that's there, and that they already trust me. And then once I show them my qualifications and what I can do as a real estate professional, the referrals that I get through this network have been absolutely amazing. I walk into new opportunities that I never would have had without these friends and these colleagues, and it's incredible to be able to expand my network, not just for business, but to really become part of the lives that I'm impacting. And as a realtor, you have great impact. This is not only a great investment that they're making, but it's a lifestyle that they're choosing. And this is something that you can really impact their life in a positive way. And it's very meaningful, very fulfilling. And I think for a lot of times after sports, for me, as I found a career, there were a lot of things that I felt were just transactional. And I think the relationships that I'm building through my business and how I'm impacting their lives and the responsibility behind it have created a lot of meaning for me personally. And it's been a great ride thus far.
Indeed, and real estate applies to everything in life. Also, we want to tell people your group is called From Gold to Sold, but you're part of a big organization, a very distinctive organization in real estate, Compass Realty. Let's tell people a little bit about that.
Just joined Compass several weeks back. When I thought about real estate, and I thought about my background, and as an Olympic athlete, we had coaches, we had physical therapists, we had nutritionists, we had, all different parts of this machine, this finely tuned machine that made it possible for you to step to the line and perform to the best of your ability. For many, many years, 4 years, not many years, but 4 years, I was part of organizations that were good organizations. But when I was offered an opportunity and qualified to become part of Compass, I saw all the tools and resources that were already at the tip of my fingers that I didn't have to invest time to create. And that value alone helps me realize that now I can just focus on my clients intently, and I don't have to worry about a lot of the small things around me in order to perform well and execute deals and get deals done on behalf of my client. And it's been incredible so far. I'm glad to be part of the organization. It's the who's who of real estate here in Houston, not only here in Houston, but across the country. And I'm glad to be a part of it. And I know it's going to be an incredible asset to my company and to my clients, and that's why I made the move.
And Chad, before we close the segment, what else would you like people to know about what you're doing?
Well, I just I am very, very, I didn't realize how passionate I would be about real estate. And I think that passion comes just because of the relationships that I'm able to build and continue to meet new faces and make new friendships and stuff like that. But man, I'm ecstatic to be here. We're in an incredible market right now. And, I'm always available to chat real estate, all things real estate. And if anybody ever needs anything, I'll promise you there's nobody that'll work harder for you than me. You can find us at www.goldtosold.com. And if you need anything at all, I'd be more than happy to chat, see how I can serve you. But man, I'm just very, very thankful for business, for the market, and for these loyal clients, friends, and referral partners that I have. It's been amazing.
Goldtosold.com. And Chad, if someone wants to give you a call, what should they do?
Yeah, you can call me anytime at 281-832-1033. I'm always available. I take a lot of pride in answering my phone because I know what it feels like to call a realtor and get a voicemail. So it's intently my goal to be able to pick up the phone without being discourteous to other clients, of course. But all the calls are important, and I pick up every chance that I can.
And one more time, that number is?
281-832-1033.
Chad Hedrick. Thank you, Chad, for being on the show from goldtosold.com.
I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for having me.
We love to talk about money on this show. We have Stephen Curtis. He is with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, leading his office right here south of Houston in Webster, Texas. Sometimes people call it the Clear Lake area. Hey, Stephen, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Bill.
It is awesome to talk about money. What a fascinating business and what a fascinating time to be involved in helping people make their dreams come true. Let's tell people about your company, Stephen.
I am with Fairway Independent Mortgage. We have here in Houston, my group, the Stephen Curtis Group, we have 5 locations. So we have Clear Lake, Friendswood, Sugarland, Katy, and then we just added a Cypress group. So we're trying to cover the entire, metro area, make sure people have choices. I think that's what makes us a little different than everyone else's choices. We try to give you multiple locations, multiple products. We try to always make sure that we have a solution for you, always bring good value, and at the end of the day, make sure we're taking care of everybody in that transaction.
Indeed, you certainly have the geography covered in a tremendous way right here in Houston. Let's tell people as far as the market conditions right now, or especially if there are people right now listening that are thinking about buying a home, what are some of the first things they should do, and when should they begin that preparation?
I would say if you're thinking about it in the next 4 to 6 months, you start now. The competition is fierce. The inventory is very limited. And knowing whether or not you have the capacity to buy is the first step to really knowing if you can go out and compete with those other qualified buyers. Right now, for every home, you have 10 or 12 people that want to buy it. And if you are not completely prepared, you are not going to win in this market. So right now would be when you want to start.
That is a good word, right now. And as far as you're talking about competition, you're right. The competition is fierce. Tell us about the role in the mortgage world, or as, let's say I have a loan from you and I'm going out there to compete for this shortage of homes. What are some of the things that your company is doing, Fairway, to help me maybe be a little step ahead than someone else?
Yeah, we're doing several things, and you have to be creative, Bill, in this market especially, because it's not just good enough to have people see my face on a letter and accept it. They have multiple offers. Sometimes I have 2 or 3 buyers that are all bidding on the same home. That's how tight the inventory is right now. So what we're doing is one, we're making sure that we have very well qualified people. We're inspecting all documents. We're getting them approved through our underwriting if necessary. We're making calls to those listing agents to let them know just how qualified they are. And if they've not worked with Fairway in the past, what they can expect from us, that we're going to take care of their clients, that we care about their sellers, that this transaction means more to us than just putting another unit up on the board. Any little thing that we can do, whether it be to shorten the option period or shorten the financing period or make sure we're closing in 4 weeks and not 45 days, anything that we can do to make it more competitive, we have to do it. It's a service that we have to provide if we're going to stay competitive in the market.
That sounds super awesome. Also, let's tell people as far as the responsibility, when you mention multiple branches, 4 or more, in your role, as those all come under your domain, give us an idea what's involved in how you manage the different locations. And I'm going to guess that maybe one location, the geography and market is a little different. I know they're all pretty pretty brisk right now. But give us an idea as you oversee these things, some of the things you're seeing.
So right now, we're having the same strain on every market. It's competitive. But prior to this, Houston is a large area. You can be an hour away from yourself if you're going from Cypress to Clear Lake. So in having good people on the ground that understand those submarkets, in Cypress, you have to be able to cover Spring, Woodlands, even maybe over to Atascocita, maybe north to Lake Conroe even. You have to know all those markets. They're all different. You have some second homes, you have investment properties, you have single family residences, you have the entire myriad of property types. And we have that in each individual office, and each one of those sales managers and even mortgage professionals need to know those things. So we spend a lot of time training. We spend a lot of time making sure that we understand our market, a lot of time partnering with great people like Stewart Title today so that we can talk about what's going on in the market. The more information that we can share, the better that we can serve our client.
So what are some of the other things that you're seeing as far as being prepared? As far as the buyer, I have a mortgage with you or I have a pre-approval with you. What else do I need to do once I secure that?
Well, you're going to be working with a real estate agent in most cases that's going to help you put together a competitive offer. And then once your offer is accepted, that real estate agent will be partnering with a title company as well as other third-party vendors so that we all have to work together. There's probably 6 to 7 different people that are all working towards the same goal of closing that transaction in a timely manner. And with inventory as short as it is, we all have to be on the absolute top of our game. So using someone that you trust, using someone that knows the local market is more important now than ever. We compete all the time with online service vendors, but right now is the time you want someone local.
No doubt about it. Local is so important. As far as being approved or pre-approved for a loan, how do I know what are the things that you're asking me as to what type of loan that I should have? Because I think there's quite a few. The more I look into it, it's like, wow, I didn't know there were that many types of loans. Let's tell people about that.
So we do offer pretty much every type of single-family residence mortgage that has a existing structure. Okay, so that can be in your rural areas. It can be a USDA loan. If you're a veteran, first, thank you for your service. We would do a VA loan. Conventional is a pretty standard product that we use for first-time and second-time home buyers. And then you have FHA, which we use a lot for our first-time home buyers. Inside of that, as you were speaking to a moment ago, we have several state-sponsored bond agency programs that assist with down payment as well. So if you are making the bills, you have good credit, maybe you've saved a little bit, but you haven't saved enough to be competitive in this market, we have solutions for those people as well. So you have to be, your products have to be competitive, right? We talked about choice earlier. I think that's the number one thing that gives us an advantage is we have every choice available to them. And we just lay it out. We're going to give you 2 or 3 options. Look, I'm not here to sell you a loan. I'm here to coach you through it. So here's 2 or 3 options. What do you think works? What are the goals? I have to understand what they are trying to accomplish, right? Is it the payment? Is it the down payment? Is it rate? What's the most conscious thing? And then let's satisfy those goals while putting together a well-qualified deal for them.
Listening, communicating is so important. Also, that is a tremendous help as far as being local. Looking at someone face to face versus an 800 number or something like that. So
100%. Yeah. And there's a few million people that might listen to this, and every single one of them is within an hour drive of me. That's not something that they're getting with every single person they talk to on the phone. So it's a blessing and a curse, right? Because one, I have to uphold the utmost best service period to every single person at all times, because that's what your reputation is built on. And the good of it is that I'm here. They can come see me, visit with me. We can be distanced, we can Zoom, we can do whatever. But at the end of the day, they know where I am and they know how to hold me accountable. My office is not in Detroit, Michigan.
Hey,
it's
let's
right
go
down the
find
street.
Stephen. We know the branches. Your name is on all that.
Yeah.
That's right. Your name is on all the branches that you have. That is a big responsibility, as you're saying, but it's also a tremendous advantage. I want to know who I'm dealing with with something as important as money and being responsible to pay money back and to receive money from your company.
Absolutely.
Let's tell people again, Stephen, the branches that you have.
Webster, we have a Sugar Land branch, Katy, Friendswood, and Cypress.
What else would you like people to know about your company?
Well, the one thing I would say is, with any company, right, as you grow, and we've grown a lot over the last few years, it's been an easy market to grow in, but finding the right people and working with the right people. Our number one thing is, and we have 81 employees, and every one of them buy into this exact same vision, is that we create more so that we can give more back to the community. So if you want to work with someone that's right here and it's going to have an impact, your transaction is going to have an impact and change in the life of someone else, then we're the people you want to work with.
And let's tell people how they can reach you.
You can reach us at our branch. My number is 832-510-0987, 832-510-0987.
And the website?
Website is StephenCurtisLoans.com.
Thank you so much, Stephen Curtis. Also with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, Karl Joe Woodling. Karl Joe, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
I love to talk about money. It is the lifeblood of all the economy. So many things are important about it, especially when we're buying a home. We need money. We need good people to deal with. You're helping in a tremendous way with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation.
Yes, I'm business development for Fairway, and pretty much what I do, I'm a relationship connector. I am out in the field building relationships, meeting people, and bringing those real estate agents to the multiple loan officers that we have in our multiple branches.
And as we were talking about the many branches you have, about how many loan officers approximately are there?
There are about 26 loan officers that we market.
That is quite a group. You
Yes.
have a lot to spread the word about.
Yes, I do. And what's wonderful about all of them is the culture at Fairway Mortgage and the people that work together side by side every single day, helping one another and building each other up. And so those are the loan officers I have available to connect with the real estate agents.
And that's fascinating because that is a big job, and there's a lot of people out there in the marketplace right now. Give us an idea. What are some of the things that you're doing in the way of connection? I know there's educational things that your company has. What are some of the other things that you're talking about out there?
Yeah, so I partner with title companies, partner with insurance, and I find the people that like to provide education. So I present myself more as an educator to help people in their business find out where they're struggling and what solutions we have available to help them overcome those struggles and make their business better and meet their goals that they have. So we do educational classes, and we do charity events and those kind of things to help agents and other people in the industry.
That's right. And in the world of real estate, most people know this, and maybe some people don't as far as those that haven't bought or sold homes recently. But in the ever-changing world of real estate, there's so much to know and stay on top of. Regulations, new paperwork is upon us even. So that the educational things are very important out there.
Yes, they are. And that's where we pride ourselves, because if we can help somebody educational-wise or train them in a specific area to help build their business or grow their business and overcome their struggles, then it's a win-win situation. They're going to want to help us in our business as well.
And here, Karl Joe, here in 2021, I'm hoping it's easier for people like you in your role to be out there in the community now. Tell people how it is right now as you're out there making these connections and telling people about your company.
So it was really interesting during the COVID and all of that back in 2020. We changed our shift in communication via Zoom and made it fun. So it wasn't a dreadful thing. Now with everything opening back up, we are getting out and about, and we get to be face to face with our friends and our real estate agents and partners and get to hug their necks instead of just looking at them through a screen.
There you go. Instead of the fist bumps and things like that, I like to see people's faces again and even make contact.
Yes.
That's so important. Of all the things you could be doing, the money world and the real estate profession, let's tell people about what you love so much about your role at Fairway.
So I have a passion for loving and serving people, and that is exactly what Fairway is all about, loving and serving people. That's just what I live for, and making friends and connecting friends with people and helping one another.
And in fact, before I got to meet you, we've talked on the phone a little while back, but before I got to meet you, I've heard so much about you. In fact, our Vice President, Mitch Lees, he's like, oh, man, I can't wait to be there to see Carrie Joe. So you, let alone Susan, Rachel, Jennifer, everyone's talked so much about you. So no doubt about it, you are well known in the Houston community.
Thank you so much. Mitch Lees was a very integral part in my growing up in sales, which I started about 7 years ago. He instilled faith and belief in me and made me, where I was uncomfortable, he pushed me to learn how to be comfortable in those areas. So.
Indeed. Mitch is doing a tremendous job leading our team, and there's no doubt he's helping people, has helped many people along his career path.
Yes, he is. I miss him. I wish he was here today, but I did get to see him last week sometime down in the Clear Lake area. So
great.
He's doing a tremendous job.
Well, let's tell people, as far as you're feeling, as far as the first quarter is over, what does it look like? What's your feeling as you're out there in the community right now? How's things going to unfold, in your opinion, for the rest of the year?
I believe, as far as my area manager and the industry, is just going to get busier and busier. We're at the very beginning of the busy season. It'll be interesting to see what everyone's numbers are at the end of this year.
It will be. And as you connect with, especially the real estate, the realtors that are out there, as you connect with them, let's say that you run into a realtor that may not have heard about your company or your branches. What are some of the first things that you tell someone about your company?
One of the first things, I talk about the culture and the quality of people that they will be working with, that they're not only going to take care of you as an agent, but they're going to take care of their clients as well. Also, after just being voted #1 lender of the year, that is another huge thing. I think I started, December 8th, and on December 9th we were awarded, so it made my job super easy.
Well, that gets you pumped up, huh?
Yes. The fact that, like Stephen talked about earlier, that we are here and we're local and we can be, you can call us on the phone, or you can come to the office and you can send our clients to have face-to-face conversations. That's another huge perk to Fairway.
And let's remind people, you're out there representing all of the branches, right?
Yes.
Let's tell people again the branches.
We have the Friendswood branch, the Webster branch, the Sugar Land branch, the Katy branch, and the newly acquired Cypress branch.
So that is awesome. As far as what you do besides when you're not working, when you're not in the money world, give people an idea what you do, let's say, as a hobby.
I am a road bike cyclist, and I love to be outdoors and be with my grandson playing soccer, but I am a cyclist for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society.
A great worthy cause. In fact, one of the things, and I cycle too around the neighborhood, one of the things about cycling and real estate, they go hand in hand, because as I ride around my neighborhood, I look at I bet you do too, the for sale signs.
Oh, I don't know that agent.
There you go. It's a way to get around. Before we close the segment, Karl Joe Woodling with Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. What else do you want people to know?
We just need one opportunity to process your transaction, and we will build that relationship with you and take care of you and your clients.
And how can people reach you?
At 281-229-1843. 281-229-1843.
One more time, just for Mitch.
281-229-1843.
Thank you, Karl Joe Woodling.
Thank you.
I say it all the time. Stay close to your Stewart Title business development officers. And we have Rachel Saunders right here, one of the A-plus team, along with Rachel, Susan Bottoms, Jennifer Bradley, and so many more around the Houston area. But we're glad right now we're going to talk to Rachel Saunders. Hey, Rachel.
Hey, how are you doing, Bill?
It's good to see you again here on the show. People love to hear from Stewart business development officers. We get tremendous feedback. What will you tell people about today?
Well, I want to tell them about an upcoming CE class that we have, as we schedule so many coming up. We have our very first in-person CE class down in the Clear Lake, Webster area. And so we're real excited. That's going to be taking place on April 8th regarding the contracts. As you know, the changes are effective April 1st. So we want to make sure those who haven't already taken it have an opportunity to do so.
Well, that is tremendous help, because things, as we said, are ever changing. And I wonder, do you have an idea of some of the new things that are on there? Maybe one or two?
Well, yeah, option changes about option money are going on, changes, and just several things got moved around in the contract. So it's important for them to know what those changes are as amazing real estate agents, as they already are, to update and refresh.
It sounds like I need to be at that class just to be aware of these things. And by the way, if someone's listening out there and doesn't know what CE means, that is in the real estate profession and others.
Continuing education.
There you go. Very important that we need to continue our education no matter what we do. Rachel, what are some, and let's tell people the branches that you represent for Stewart Title.
I'm at the Friendswood office and the Pearland office for Stewart Title. We have some amazing team members down that way.
You know, if someone's listening outside of Texas, they're probably saying, Friendswood, that sounds like a friendly place. And we're noted for being friendly here in Texas.
We are. It is the most friendliest place. That's why they called it Friendswood.
Friendswood sounds like a place. Also, by the way, if you want to buy a house in Friendswood, you can close at Stewart Title. But also, the market is still brisk right there in Friendswood and everywhere.
It really is. It's booming still. You just got to find the house.
Let's tell people a little bit, since Jennifer and Susan aren't right here at the microphone. You guys work as a tremendous team for Stewart Title. Let's tell people about your counterparts.
Well, we work really well together because you have Jennifer down in the Texas City, League City offices for Stewart, and you have Susan down in Clear Lake and the Gulf Freeway offices, and I'm all the way down in Pearland and Friendswood. All of our real estate agents that we partner with interlink with us. They kind of float around and go to all of our offices, depending on the location of the home and what's convenient for their clients.
And I also want to say, as you're out there, you and Susan and Jennifer are out there doing educational things for the real estate community. There's also some fun things that happen along the way, too. And I think we're in the season where you may not have any planned yet, and you may, but there's some fun things coming up here for the real estate community in your areas.
There is. There's a lot of fun things coming up now that things are starting to open up. We're able to get out and, like you said, do continuing education classes in person. But there's going to be happy hours coming out again and all sorts of fun things and events. And I like educational events personally, things for the real estate agents to go out and have fun and get back into that face-to-face groove that they were in before.
Well, and with the market being so brisk, everybody is serious. We're juggling a lot of things. And it's a serious business, real estate, no doubt about it. There has to be every now and then a little bit of fun along the way in this very brisk and exciting market.
That's right. So, it's good when you team up with people. You get an opportunity to, when you team up, to know about the new events that are coming up with Stewart or even Fairway. I mean, you have all these opportunities to get out there and socialize again. I think that's something we all miss dearly.
That's right. We also get other people's perspectives about the things that are going on, and that helps us learn more and serve our clients better.
Yes, it does. Absolutely.
Before we close the segment, Rachel Saunders, what else would you like people to know?
I want them to know, hey, when you're looking for an amazing a title company, put Stewart Title and give us an opportunity to show you what we're about.
That's right. There is a difference in title companies. Stewart Title, we have a lot to offer.
We do.
People can reach out to you. Let's tell them the number.
281-418-4778. 281-418-4778.
One more time for Mitch.
281-418-4778.
Thank you, Rachel Saunders.
Thank you.
If you're a real estate professional, then listen closely. Cyber criminals are targeting our industry. They are impersonating real estate professionals, homebuyers, sellers, and title agents. Their goal is to gain access to your inboxes, computers, and clients so they can steal information and funds. Does your business insurance offset these risks? Not sure? Contact Stewart Insurance to determine if your business is properly insured. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827. Visit stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.
Real Estate Matters would not be possible without our partner, Stewart Insurance. With a focus in real estate and a special focus on real estate brokers, Stewart Insurance creates insurance plans to address the risks facing our industry today. They invest a significant amount of time helping real estate broker owners offset and manage their risks. Here he is with Stewart Insurance, John Bramblett. John, welcome.
Thank you, Bill, and congratulations on show 370.
Isn't that amazing? 370 shows. And just think, and I encourage people to go to stewart.com/radio. You could see the roster. I think we have from show number 1 to this show, everybody that's been on.
That's just
Or most of
amazing.
them.
That is fantastic. So congratulations to you and the Stewart Title family on such success.
It is exciting. Thank you. And thank you at Stewart Insurance. Without you, Tom Carpentier, like we say on the preamble, it would not even be possible.
Well, we're glad to be here and be part of the team.
As far as insurance topics, people await what you bring forth every week. What have you brought for us today?
Well, I was fortunate enough to attend a Houston Mortgage Bankers Association event last week, and they had a really interesting panel. They had 3 realtors, well-respected realtors from the Houston market, all different sizes, all different parts of the city. They covered a variety of topics, but one of the ones that was really interesting to me was one of the questions was, what do you want from a lender? As a realtor, what do you expect from a lender, and what should the realtor's clients expect from a lender? So I thought, one, that would be of interest to our lender listeners, who I know we have many of, but also if you think about the learning and what we're about to share, it really applies to all of us in doing business, whether we're in the real estate industry or not. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today, would just kind of give that some of those learnings, and hopefully it'll be a benefit to not only our lender listeners, but to all of our listeners. Well, the expectations they had were things like be prompt. That, if you say you're going to do something, do it when you said you're going to do it. Communicate. That came through several times throughout, is make sure that we're aware of what's going on. They specifically said if there's a red flag, if there's an issue, don't wait to try to resolve it before you let us know about it. If there's an issue that comes up, let us know. Be transparent. We need to know what's going on and how it's happening. The more that realtor knows about what's happening on the lending process, the better off it is. Stephen talked about the fact that he calls the agents and talks about the clients that they have. That's and important. The loans. So Stephen's already shown that that they at Fairway that they do a great job of that communication and keeping everybody involved. Confirm the loan. So when the loan is approved, make sure that the agents are aware of that. That was important to them. Answer the phone and call me back. That was a lot. I don't want to listen to a voice prompt. I don't want to leave a message if possible. I want to be able to answer the phone. And then if I miss you, call me back. Don't text me back. Don't email me back. Call me back. If I called you on the phone, call me back. If I sent you a text, then you can send me a text back. But the two that they really emphasized were call me back and answer the phone. Be trustworthy. Again, we talked about earlier, do what you say and say what you're going to do. Communicate throughout the process. And many times we have a habit, and I think we're all this way in business, of we communicate really well at the beginning of the process when everything's new and exciting. But as we move forward, we're not always as diligent and disciplined, I should say, in our communication. So make sure that we communicate, throughout the process. Know your niche. Know your market. Stephen and Carrie Jo spoke earlier about understanding the markets where they are, and as they've been selective in where they've opened branches and making sure that their team understands that market. And that was very important to the realtors, that not to be everything to everyone, but to know your market. They like working with people that like what they do and they can tell. So they want to have a lender partner that they're working with that's excited about lending, that understands the business, that enjoys the business. That was truly, truly important to them. And then I guess the last one that they shared that I thought was really important was know your client. So if a realtor calls up and said, I have a question about the loan you're working on for Bill Napick, they're not going, let me check Bill Knapp. How do you spell?
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, that be to know your client, be able to say, absolutely, on Mr. Napick's, this is where we are right now. He's an excellent candidate. I would make sure that Bill's top of the list on that, on the chance to purchase that home. He would be an excellent neighborhood and member of that community.
You're going to be my ambassador, John. That sounds good.
Absolutely.
I'd give that guy a loan. Well, I'll tell you what, the things, and what you're saying is common sense, but one of my the two favorites I have of what you said is do what you say you're going to do and answer the phone. Those are gigantic. The do what you say you're going to do, I know along the way, I'm sure I have faltered along the way. However, even if in passing I say to someone, yeah, let's have lunch, I'll make sure I go at least ask them one time to have lunch, because some people just say that, and sometimes we just say a lot of things. Say what you mean, do what you say you're going to do. I think that's gigantic.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can't hear what you're saying because of what you're doing. There's one of the sayings. So I think you're right, and that was very much important. And all the panelists had agreed with that if you're going to help us out with something or you're going to share some information, just go ahead and do it. That's all they ask. And if you run into an issue, that's okay. Just let us know. And it all boils down to communication, that as long as people are aware of what's happening and the situation and the process we're going through, the better off we are.
That sounds great. John, what other things should we know?
Well, I think it's important that, when we looked at that list, the thing that was fun, I shared it with our Stewart Insurance team, because those are things that we strive for. That, we have Mayrea that she answers the phone. So the only time that you're going to get a voicemail from us is potentially at lunch or after hours. Other than that, Mayrea or one of the team members is answering the phone, and I think that's critical. Our president, Tom Carpentier, preaches to all of us, communicate, communicate, communicate. This is where we are in the process. If we ever have an issue with a client, it's because we haven't done a good enough job of letting them know where we are in the process, or letting our insurance partners letting us know where we are in the process. As long as we can let people know where we are, we're okay. But that's important to us, and those are part of the elements that make up this idea, as we talk about all the time, about being properly insured. That our goal is to be the best at properly insuring to our clients, whether they be a real estate broker, a property management firm, a title attorney agent, or an individual or family for their home, auto, wind, flood, motorcycle.
That's right. In fact, since I've known your company these last 8 years, visiting your offices, training is such an important part of what you do at Stewart Insurance, stewartinsurance.com, by the way. But even when you visit the office, there's motivational things there. You're holding classes, bringing people up to the next level at all times. A tireless endeavor, but it pays off.
Absolutely.
All the time.
One of our guiding principles is being a lifelong learner. So we're continually working both individually and as a group to make sure that our team is up to speed, not only on what's happening in the insurance world and understanding policies and how each policy is different from each company, and each policy's intent can be different even to the client level, but also understanding how best to work with each other, how best to interact with our clients. So it's a continuing process, easy for me to say, at Stewart Insurance.
And John, if someone, let's say, is in Pearland, Texas, and wants to reach out to you, what should they do?
Well, they can call us at 866-798-2827. That's 866-798-2827, or they can email us, stewartinsurance@stewart.com.
And what if they're anywhere else in the United States? What number should they call?
If they're anywhere else in the United States outside of Pearland, Texas, they still should call 866-798-2827, 866-798-2827, or stewartinsurance@stewart.com.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. John Bramblett. You've been listening to Real Estate Matters with Stewart Title. Thank you again, show 370. We really want to thank Susan Bottoms, Jennifer Bradley, Rachel Saunders, all our tremendous guests, and super information each and every show. Once again, if you're in the process of thinking about a real estate transaction or in a real estate transaction and you would like to close at Stewart Title, we would be honored to be stewards of your real estate transaction. Simply go to stewart.com. You can find a closest branch. If you're in anywhere where Rachel, Jennifer, or Susan is at, that's going to be awesome. Stewart.com. And of course, if you want to see and hear the show, go to stewart.com/radio. Stewart.com/radio, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for listening.
This is Jennifer Bradley with Stewart Title. I'm with the Texas City and League City office.
This is Susan Bottoms. I'm with Stewart Title Clear Lake and the Guffreyway office.
Thanks for listening to Real Estate Matters.
In today's litigious society, it is imperative to have the proper insurance to offset the many risks facing your business, especially if you're a real estate broker. That's stewartinsurance.com or call 866-798-2827.